Okay, so if you watch many of my videos and follow much of my stuff, you'll probably notice that I'm particularly keen on Hondas, as a lot of people are. I do like other stuff as well, but I do like Hondas. And this is a CR250, so it's the, you know, the classic, the go-to bike really. And if you're into your CR250s, if you're collecting them or you just like them really, then there's a few models which are kind of must-haves, and this is one of them really. So this is the 1996 Honda CR250. So why is it a must-have bike? It's a must-have bike because it's the last of the steel frame CR250s. And it's also reputed to be the bike that Jeremy McGrath said was the best bike he ever rode. Granted, his will have had all kinds of tricky fancy bits on it, but based on the stock 96 CR250. Now this bike here has had quite a lot of money spent on it in its time. And it's got some proper nice stuff on. It's obviously, the guy who's had it has spent a bit of money on it and then ridden it, and then he's either sold it to someone who maybe hasn't looked after it as well as he did, or maybe he lost interest in it or whatever. But the basic package of this bike is really good. A few bits that I'd change on it. The tank is one of them. It's a desert tank, so if it were me and I were buying this bike, I'd buy it and then I'd look out for a stock 96 tank and swap that over, and it could probably do with a little bit of a cosmetic tidy up. Like I say on lots of my videos, I don't wash these bikes, so it is as it's come from California, exactly as it is. I probably do myself out of a few quid by not washing them, but I think that you guys want to see them as they are, without having been messed with, and that's what I try to do really. But yeah, let's have a closer look at her, and then I'll point out a few of the fancy bits that are on her, and a few of the not so good bits, and then we'll get her fired up. Unfortunately, it's been absolutely flipping chucking it down all morning, so I'm not going to ride it. I'm not going to ride it around the garden. I'd definitely get in a lot of trouble for that, because it'd just rip it up. So it's just going to be a general gearbox test, fire up, listen to it running, this, that and the other. So that's what it's going to be. I mean, I haven't fired it up yet, so I'm hoping it does run. I'm sure it will. It's got a spark and it's got a compression, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so the previous guy, like I say, he's put this desert tank on. He will have put that on as an upgrade, because I'm sure he will have been riding it in the desert, so he'll have wanted extra range out of the bike rather than the smaller tank. So that will have been he'll have put that on. It will have cost him money, and for us or for me, it kind of detracts value from it really. But there you go, that's just the way it is. Got the rear shock has been revalved by a company called Pro Valve, as the front forks. The front forks, I'm not sure that they were this colour. I think they were more of a bronzy colour. So I'm thinking that he's had the fork bodies re-anodised in a slightly different colour, which does look pretty nice, I think. So as we have a look at that, we notice it's got a fancy billet top triple clamp. The bottom one is a standard cast one. The top one is a billet CNC machined bit of kit, which again would have been a decent chunk of money. He's had the frame powder coated. Now the frame has got a couple of dings in the bottom of the rail, but it's got a sump guard on, so nothing major, nothing that would stop you riding it. It's got an FMF Gold Series fatty front pipe, which gives low down torque. The Gold Series is a thicker gauge steel that they use to build that pipe. It's got a couple of dings in it, so they could do with being blown out, and then you could have that re-chromed, or you could paint it, or you could have it nickel plated, or you know, whatever to suit really. And then he's married that up with a Pro Circuit rear silencer, which is a nice addition. We've got on here, he's got some nice Works Connection frame guards as well, which are proper decent bit of kit. ASV levers, so I have ASV brake and clutch levers, Works Connection, brake reservoir cover, which is all nice. And then we've got powder coated hubs. That one's got a few chips out of it, but it's still been done. And then a nice set of silver XL rims, not cheap ones. They are proper expensive bits of kit, or they would have been when he put them on. They definitely weren't standard equipment. It's got a different seat cover on, a Guts factory gripper seat. It's not in bad condition, to be honest. The swing arm looks to be in decent condition. He's got a nice MSR chain block on there. And then there's just bits and pieces, like you can see on the barrel there, it's had some porting work. You can see someone's initials there, PV. I'm not sure who PV is, but that signifies that barrel has been ported. Don't know what it's been ported for, top end, mid-range. A lot of people will go for mid-range, so I'm assuming it will be some kind of mid-range improvement, and yeah, should be a good thing anyway. The front fork seal, both fork seals have gone, but the rest of the forks look decent. Like I say, the actual fork bodies themselves look to be in decent condition. The front wheel is perfectly round. There's no flat spots. There's no splits in it or anything like that. The same with the back wheel. Just overall proper decent bike that has had, like I say, quite a bit of money thrown at it in its life, and then it's probably had the money spent on it, and then the guy's probably ridden it, and then he's got bored of it or whatever, or got a new toy, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to sell that now, and then, you know, just left the bits and pieces that need doing to be done really. But make a fantastic Super Evo race bike, or like I say, it's 96 CR250, so mega collectible bike, like the best one really. You'd want a 2007, a 96, 1980, 1981 first water cooled, but definitely a 96 would be a must-have bike. It was a fantastic race winning bike in its day, and I think this would still be a great bit of kit. Let's get the gearbox check done, and then we'll get it fired up. That's the other thing it's got on as well. It's got a nice FMF stator cover on it, so that would normally have been a plastic stator cover. That's an FMF. It's a cast stator cover, but that's a nice addition as well. So we're in neutral there, down into first, up into second, third, fourth, fifth. That is the top of the box. Down into fourth, third, second, and neutral. So yeah, so it needs the front fork seals doing, and it's also got a bit of play. It's either in the top shock mount or in the bottom of the linkage. So that those two jobs would need doing, and then the rest of it is just a tidy up job really. Right, we'll go and put my dogs away, and then we'll get it fired up for you. So it's got a bit of a leak from the carb. I suspect it needs the float height setting. And it's not ticking over, so it needs that setting as well. But sounds flipping sweet as a nut, absolutely sweet as a nut, and I'm sure it'll go like stink with it sounding like that. Definitely be a mega bike. It's got all the characteristics of something that's going to be a great bike to ride, especially with if you do those little bits of work to it. It'll be a fantastic thing. Really cool. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just search Phoenix Motos.